Forrest, Callum McGregor, Scott Brown, Olivier Ncham and Kieran Tierney. And up front it's Moussa Dembele and Odsonne Edouard, the scorer of Celtic's first goal. And the Hoops have us underway in the second half, shooting towards that band of Celtic supporters down in the far corner. Huge credit to them for travelling such a great distance to support the boys, travelling from all corners, from Scotland and Ireland of course, but also from the likes of Kazakhstan and Russia. And it's Alashkert perhaps with that opportunity to attack in the early moments of the second half. Jack Hendry is dispossessed, it's Reis into the box, and an early scare again for Celtic at the start of the second half. Well, Celtic caught cold in the hot conditions here in Yerevan, and thankfully they're not having to pay for that. It was Jack Hendry who was dispossessed at the edge of the box, and I think it was Reis that came in from that left hand side who had the shot. Well, whoever had that effort, Craig Gordon was thankfully equal to it. It wasn't the best attempt in goal and he was able to smother the ball, but a warning for Celtic, Tony. You know, complacency can't afford to be countenanced in a game of this magnitude. Yeah, we saw that, and as we were talking about at half time, Craig Gordon, you know, able to respond when he is called into action. Jack Hendry, unlucky there, the ball seemed to just catch under him. He played so well in the first half, so he'll be really frustrated with himself for giving the opposition that opportunity there. Well, thankfully Celtic weren't made to pay, and it's Kieran Tierney down the left hand side with a dangerous low cross into the box, and it forces a hurried clearance from Alashkert and Celtic's first corner of the second half. The Hoops stung back into action following that early opportunity for the Armenian champions at the other end. And there'll be Olivier Ncham who will take the corner kicks as usual from the left hand side. The near side as we look on from the main stand here in the Republican Stadium. Ncham looking for options in the middle. It's a good ball into the mix and a Celtic player goes tumbling to the ground. I think it was Jack Hendry trying to get on the end of that cross. He appeals in vain for a penalty. Referee not interested in that. Jack Hendry certainly felt he was fouled there as he attempted to get on the end of that cross from Ncham. And Alashkert get away with that one, but Celtic threatening from set pieces at times. Alashkert have looked quite unconvincing, Tony. Yeah, when you've got Christopher Ajer and Jack Hendry just really tall, and they can be really effective from set pieces. I think so. Jack Hendry will be disappointed that he never got anything for that. It did look like there was a wee bit of a foul on that, and he'd made a good run. He read that ball well. It looked like he was getting on the end of it. He's of course still desperate to get his debut goal for Celtic, and I don't think it will be far off. Well, the former Dundee man is always a threat at set pieces with his height and aerial ability, and he came close to get on the end of that corner kick from Ncham, but it's Celtic coming forward through Dembele. Dembele trying to play into McGregor. McGregor bursting into the box, just crowded out in the end by two Alashkert players getting back to avert the danger there, but Callum McGregor showing that forward burst from midfield. He's still down on the deck. Celtic continue to play. McGregor slowly getting to his feet. Hopefully he's okay to continue. He's almost in the end of that ball from Moussa Dembele, and got a shot on target, unfortunately just crowded out, Tony. But Callum McGregor, we saw a couple of occasions in the first half how he makes those late surging runs into the box, and in that occasion causing a threat once more to the Alashkert backline. That's one of his biggest qualities, Callum McGregor, is his ability to read the game, and play off the strikers like that. He timed his run really well. It's a good ball from Moussa Dembele, and Callum McGregor's unlucky just not to get a wee bit more time to get the shot off there. Well, in the meantime, we have a free kick, I think, for Alashkert. Certainly coming together there down the Celtic left, just midway inside the Celtic half. Still a clear for the home side on the ground, and it looks like it's going to require a bit of treatment there. Just a head knock for the Alashkert player, as the home crowd try to spur on the host, and it looks like it's the striker Nenadovic. He looks like he's taking a sore one there. Just an unlucky one. Don't think there was anything malicious in that at all from a Celtic perspective, but you can see he's requiring a bit of treatment there. Tony, a bit of a sore blow to the head.
It's probably quite frustrating for Celtic, albeit the water break is important, but you know, building up a bit of momentum there. That was a really good ball from Olivier Ntcham. That's something that he's really impressed with, is his range of passing. You know, he reads the play really well. It was a good cross, a good long ball there, sorry, to pick out Moussa Dembele, who controlled it really well, and it was a good chance for Cal McGregor. But yeah, exciting to see Olivier Ntcham being so effective in midfield alongside Scott Brown as well. Having Scott Brown there just affords Olivier Ntcham the comfort to drive forward with the ball, and he is really good at initiating that attack.
Nenadovic still on the ground. It looks like he's maybe got a cut to the mouth. Looks he's still requiring treatment, and that has brought an early pause in proceedings prematurely in the second half. Celtic leading 1-0 thanks to that goal on the stroke of half time from Odsonne Edouard. An excellent finish from the young striker, and it's put Celtic in pole position in this UEFA Champions League first qualifying round, first leg. Brendan Rodgers will of course be looking for his players to extend that lead in the second half. He will be satisfied with how the game has gone so far, as Nenadovic eventually has to leave the field, so play can continue. And just waiting for the restart here. The ball will be thrown in by Yedigaryan, the right back of Alashkert. He receives the return pass, but Scott Brown is across quickly. Only at the expense of a throw-in. That will be another throw-in taken by Yedigaryan. Just plays it to number 9, Dashan. Dashan tries to dig it across into the box. It goes out of play there for a goal kick, however. As Alashkert trying to bring Nenadovic back into the fray, but he's still receiving treatment there on the touchline. Celtic up against 10 men at the moment as they hold on to possession on the halfway line. It's Jack Hendry to James Forrest. Forrest infield to McGregor. McGregor challenge there. Still works the ball back to Hendry. Hendry infield to Christopher Ajer. Forward to Brown. Back to Ajer again. For Jozo Simunovic takes over. Showed his qualities both in a defensive and an offensive aspect in that first half. Played a part in Celtic's opening goal, made some timely tackles as well. Celtic's number 5. And that's a lovely flick there from Odsonne Edouard into McGregor. McGregor forward to Dembele. Dembele, can he find the shot? He can. He gets a left-footed effort on target, but the ball is saved by Kancerovic. But a good flowing attacking move from the hoops there. Cut open the Alashkert backline, and Dembele close to making it 2-0.
That was nice play from Odsonne Edouard there. That wee flick there really caught them out. Had Callum McGregor in support for the run there, and Moussa Dembele controlled it well, got shot off with his left foot, but wasn't able to generate enough power or steer it far enough away from the keeper to trouble him.
Well, it's Dembele again, wreaking havoc there, just far too strong there for the right back. Yedigaryan, the ball was played into the box. Now the play has been stopped again. Yedigaryan on the deck, just as Alashkert make a change there, as Nenadovic is unable to continue after that blow to the head. Blood still pouring from the striker's face as Yedigaryan receives a bit of treatment. Didn't look much in that, just looked like strong play again from Moussa Dembele. And it's Cesar Romero who has entered the fray in place of Nenadovic. He'll be hoping for more opportunities than the man he replaced. Not many sights of goal for Nenadovic when he was on the field in the first half. So the second half has been punctuated by several stoppages so far. Not much flow or rhythm to the game, however. Celtic have constructed some nice passages of play, particularly that last one. Tony, as we look back at that effort and goal from Moussa Dembele, some lovely footwork in the build-up to that chance from Odsonne Edouard, and Cal McGregor also involved. But its play is now back underway, and it's Jack Hendry heading the ball forward. Dembele tries to close down the goalkeeper, Kansarevic, for Alashkert pick up the ball on the halfway line. And it's the fullback, Yedigaryan, trying to come forward. Managed to put the ball inside to Sekulic. Back to the fullback there, who's in an advanced position, Yedigaryan, but Celtic have enough men back to pick up the pieces and avert the danger from that attack. And it's Kansarevic just forward to the skipper, Yedigaryan, who just plays a ball over the top, and that's comfortable for the Celtic defence. That back three have been tested on a few occasions by Alashkert, but in the main they've looked resolute and composed and unflustered by the home side's forward attacks. And it's Celtic coming forward through Dembele. Dembele to Ncham. Celtic speed up the play as they reach the edge of the box, and Edouard does well. He's into the area. Edouard, can he cut the ball back for Dembele? He can. Dembele searching for room for a shot. It's worked back to Edouard. So, Ncham, sorry, the shot eventually coming in. It's blocked by Alashkert. But Celtic still on the ball, still with the momentum. Odsonne Edouard again causing problems, and it's the young Frenchman again picking up the ball near the corner flag. Edouard doing well there. Looks like he's won a corner kick, but that's not forthcoming from the officials. They've awarded a goal kick, but Tony again, Odsonne Edouard, some lovely footwork into the box, showing strength, but also some skillful play as well, cutting the ball back for Moussa Dembele. Just couldn't fashion room for the shot, and when Ncham eventually did pull the trigger, he was closed down as well.
Odsonne Edouard again showing what he can do with his neat footwork in a tight space there. It was a really good chance that he created there. He's picked out Moussa Dembele, who's looked up and saw Olivier Ncham running in there, but it was played just behind him and he wasn't really able to generate enough power to trouble the keeper with his shot. But again, good to see Odsonne Edouard and Moussa Dembele creating chances between them up front.
It's Alashkert trying to come forward down the left-hand side. Reis trying to close down Craig Gordon, and then strong play from Moussa Dembele and Ncham as well, also helping out, but the referee has decided that was an infringement there from Ncham, and he's awarded a free kick to Alashkert just inside the Celtic half. Not much in that, but the captain for Alashkert, Yedigaryan, went flying to the deck, and now the home side have a free kick. A couple of players forward for this one, and it's the captain over the ball, Yedigaryan, although he's going to leave this one. And it could be number 9, Dashan, who may take aim. Well, it's a very ambitious effort there, and a really poor attempt in the end from Dashan. It would have taken something quite incredible to beat Craig Gordon from that distance, Tony. It was almost, I mean, nearly, say it's even more than 40 yards from goal, and that shot just trundled harmlessly wide of the post. Yeah, he's rolled that one to Craig Gordon from around 40 yards. Probably best he should have left that for his captain, who himself has a goal threat, as we know. He's been top scorer for Alashkert the past 2 seasons. Dembele looked for the foul there. It wasn't forthcoming though, and it's Voskanian who's coming forward, and a possible chance in the box for this substitute Romero. The ball's launched back towards the far post. It's not back in to the mix, but Craig Gordon rises highest to claim that ball. Well, Celtic almost caught in the counter there after Dembele went tumbling. Referee played for him, but that's great play from Dembele, closing down the goalkeeper Kansarevic. He was in a bit of trouble there. He was helped out by his defence, but again, we saw that in the first half. Tony, Moussa Dembele, Odsonne Edouard working furiously at the top end of the pitch for Celtic.
Yeah, the goalkeeper in a world of danger there almost. He's way outside his box just by the touchline there. Moussa Dembele showing great stamina to press the keeper there, and he's intercepted the ball, but the defence managed to jump on it to prevent him getting a shot off.
Celtic on the ball, deep in their own half. Brown to Christopher Ajer, Ajer to Jack Hendry, all the way out to James Forrest, hugging that right touchline. Forrest infield to Hendry, Hendry to Ajer, forward to Cham, Cham infield to Brown. Feints to play the ball back to Olivier Cham, but he goes to the right hand side to Jack Hendry, who then works it to Forrest. Celtic holding on to possession, just taking the sting out of the game, trying to re-establish control of this contest before Cham tries to pick out the run of Tierney down the left hand side. Just too much purchase on that pass, and it runs out for a goal kick. And now just past the hour mark here in the Republican Stadium in Yerevan, the capital of Armenia. Celtic still leading 1-0 thanks to that goal on the stroke of half time from Odson Edouard. As Alashkert pick up possession on the right. Just a ball forward looking for the substitute Romero, but it's Celtic who pick up the pieces, and it's Cham coming forward. He's got Tierney to the left, Cham cuts in field though, gets away from two men, good play from Cham, and then he works it out to Forrest. Forrest on the right. Forrest is faced up by three defenders, goes back to Cham, and Cham finds Brown. Brown had Simunovic on the left, but Celtic electing to keep the ball. Forrest does well though to keep that one in play. Before he's taken out of play there on the touchline, it certainly looked like a foul there on the Celtic winger as we look on from the far side here in the main stand. The linesman was right there, and it looks like he's awarded a free kick there, Tony, and that was silly play from the defender there. He had James Forrest where he wanted him, right on the touchline, but a two-footed clumsy challenge, and it's given Celtic a free kick opportunity.
That was a really poor challenge, needless, and now Celtic have a free kick in a dangerous area, and as we mentioned earlier, we have real aerial threats and the likes of Christopher Ajer and Jack Hendry, so they could rue that tackle. Really silly.
Yeah, it was the left back Dag Bashan who made that challenge, shaking the hand of James Forrest in there as he went back into the box before this free kick comes in. McGregor leaves it for Cham. Cham hits a deep one, it's toward the far post. Simunovic is up highest, tries to win that header. Didn't look too much in that challenge there as he attempted to get on the end of that cross, but in any event he couldn't reach it, and the referee also blew for the infringement too. It's a free kick to Alashkert. Celtic unable to profit from that set piece situation as Odson Edouard almost closing down Kancerevic again. Goalkeeper fortunate to get away with that one. Good play again from the Celtic strikers, working hard at that end of the pitch to keep Celtic on the front foot before it was Simunovic who came in there with it looked like a clean tackle, certainly robust, but it was clean, and the referee took his time before awarding Alashkert the free kick, much to the frustration of the Celtic players, particularly Christopher Ajer and Simunovic. Alashkert are on the ball coming forward, looking for that equalising goal, and it's the right back Yedigaryan who's come forward a couple of times in the second half into advanced positions. The ball's worked back to Grigorian before the shot comes in from number 17 Yedigaryan. Well, the right fullback is doing his best. He looks like a man on a mission trying to get his team back into this match. Found himself in the centre of the pitch, just near the edge of the Celtic box. Let rip at that shot, Tony, and forcing a good save from Craig Gordon.
Yeah, that was a good save from Craig. He's just pushed that over the crossbar, and a wasted corner there. It's just come into the near post, and Kieran Tierney has cleared it away. But yeah, good defending from Celtic to resign Alashkert to having to shoot from distance. He only get half a second there to get a shot off, and Craig Gordon dealt with it comfortably.
Yeah, Tony, as you mentioned, a wasted opportunity there from Alashkert. A very poor corner from the man we were talking about with that shot. Yeah, the Garyan easily cleared by Celtic at the near post, compounding the frustration for the home side who still trailed to that goal from Odson Edward as Jack Hendry advances deep into the Alashkert half. McGregor tries to get away from his man. He can't do so on this occasion. And it's Alashkert to come forward through Yedigarian, the captain. He just moves the ball back in field to Gregorian. And it's Gregorian on the ball again. Alashkert enjoying a bit more of the possession at this point in the match, as Gregorian just exchanges passes and works it to Voskanian, out to the right hand side to Yedigarian. Back inside Celtic, just sitting back. Remember, this is extremely hot and testing conditions for the Scottish champions. Still extremely warm in Yerevan.
I think, given, as you were saying, the temperatures there, Mark, the manager has opted to make some substitutes early in the second half, with Scott Sinclair and Bowie Crassie look like they're coming on.
Yeah, well spotted, Tony. Celtic about to make their first changes of the match, and it's going to be a double switch by Brendan Rodgers. Scott Sinclair and Bowie Crassie just warming up on the touchline there. And we have spoken about the hot temperatures, and it's especially difficult for Celtic at this early juncture in the season, with the players still reaching full match sharpness. So this will be a real test. That's James Forrest as well on the right hand side, gets away from a couple of tackles, and then it's a clumsy challenge in the end. The Alashkert player goes into the book, and he's no complaints about that. I think it was the left back there who had that earlier foul on James Forrest. Dagbashian has been given a torrid time again by the Celtic wide man. Well, there's plenty of players in Scottish football who can empathise with him. It's so hard to play against the directness and the pace and the purpose of James Forrest, as Brendan Rodgers makes his first two changes of the game. And it's Moussa Dembele who will be the first to leave the fray. He'll be replaced by Scott Sinclair. And it looks like it will be, as we said, a double switch. And it looks like Olivier Cham perhaps, Tony, coming off as well. So just a kind of like for like replacement. Obviously Scott Sinclair can drop into a more deeper role, and we might see Odson Edward leading the line as Moussa Dembele did for most of the match.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll see. That's what the manager done on Saturday against Shamrock Rovers, replacing Moussa Dembele for Scott Sinclair, and that allows Odson Edward just to push up and have that sort of lone striker role with plenty of support.
That'll be a free kick to the hoops just after these changes come on, following that foul on Forrest. And it's McGregor who takes over responsibilities for set pieces following the departure of Ncham. Trying to find the far post there with that one, trying to surprise the goalkeeper, just too much power in that one, and it goes out for a goal kick. As we wait to see how Celtic reshuffle the pack following those two changes, and it looks like Celtic have made a tactical switch, perhaps a 4-3-3 now. Tony, it looks like James Forrest is pushed a bit further forward on the right hand side, with Jack Hendry going into a more of a right back role.
Yeah, and I think we'll see Scott Sinclair cutting in from the left as well, and having a go at goal. But as we spoke about earlier, it's the tactical versatility that the team can play under Brendan Rodgers.
Well, that looked like a foul there on a Celtic player as Alashkert broke forward. I think it was a challenge on Bowie Crassie, trying to get his first touch of the match, was sent tumbling, but the referee waved play on. Alashkert unable to take advantage of that breakaway, as Celtic try and manoeuvre forward at Scott Brown, winning that second ball and doing well again. Scott Brown then forcing the foul, surely, and the referee eventually awards the free kick. Excellent play from Scott Brown, just closing down Gregorian in the middle of the pitch and getting Celtic on the front foot. Scott Brown exchanging some pleasantries there with his Alashkert counterpart, and that's something that certainly won't faze the Celtic skipper. An inspiration for the side last season as they stormed to that historic double treble. and at 33 he looks like he's got many years left in the tank. He's been an important player again for Celtic this evening as Brown works the ball out to Jack Hendry. Hendry coming forward from right back this time. Hendry doing well, storming run forward from the big defender, getting deep inside the Alashkert half. He tried to dig that ball back to Callum McGregor, and Alashkert don't deal with that too convincingly, and it's won back by James Forrest. Well, that looked very harsh indeed. It was just good closing down play there from Celtic, but the referee has awarded a free kick. And I think Alashkert was tad fortunate to get away with that, Tony. It was good closing down from the hoops.
Yeah, they got off lightly there. James Forrest looked a wee bit frustrated to have a foul given against him, and he is so good at working off the ball, James Forrest. He really presses quick and puts the opposition under a lot of pressure. He's a real workhorse down that right-hand side and doesn't give the opposition any time when Celtic aren't in possession.
Well, Alashkert still trying to come to terms with that tactical reshuffle from Celtic. The hoops showing their tactical flexibility, switching quickly from the 3-5-2 to a more of a 4-3-3 with James Forrest, Odson Edouard and Scott Sinclair leading the line as McGregor and Forrest tried to close down that Alashkert midfield. Eventually the ball's walked forward to Dashan, who's not been as lively as he was in the first half, before a crossfield pass comes in from Yedigarian, and it's a good one out to Reis on that far side, who cuts inside and takes aim. He gets the shot in and goal, but it's a comfortable catch for Craig Gordon, and that was pretty easy meet in the end for the Celtic and Scotland number one, as Odson Edouard does well down the left hand side. Great strength there from the French striker, tenacity as well, and it's surely a foul for the French striker, but the referee again, he's not really been keen to blow his whistle, Tony, on a couple of occasions. That looked like a free kick there. It was good strong play from Odson Edouard on the touchline, and looked like he was sent tumbling to the ground there. Yeah, we get a good view of that from our commentary position here, just taking place in front of us here at the near side, and yeah, he had an arm wrapped around Odson Edouard's waist and sort of wrestled him to the ground, so he was deserving of a free kick there, but referees missed it. And Edouard again trying to use his physical presence to cause problems there to Voss Canyon. It's Alashkert coming away with it through Yedigarian, who just launches that ball down the right hand side. Bit of miscommunication there with his teammates, and goes all the way through to Craig Gordon. Gordon wants the ball to Brown. Brown, good play from Scott Brown, showing his energy level still at this late stage in the match. Brown drives Celtic forward across the halfway line, back to Kouassi, forward to McGregor. McGregor unable to get on the end of that, but Alashkert unable to profit, and it's out for a throw into the home side deep in their own half. Ball's thrown back to Prasnovsky, forward to Sekulic. Sekulic looking for options in front of him, is forced to go back to Voss Canyon, who goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Kansarevic. He's had a couple of troublesome moments in this second half, particularly when he's been closed down by the Celtic strike force. And it's Dashan coming forward for Alashkert, trying to force a pass through it. Sekulic, who picks up the ball, could be a promising situation for the hosts. Sekulic out to the left back there, Dagbashin, and the ball comes into the box eventually, and Celtic get away with that one. Some consternation among the home side, thinking that perhaps there was a handball there in the lead up to that move, Tony. Yeah, Jack Henry's just Jack Henry's come out there just to block that, but he's had his arms at his side as he's jumped up to block it. There was really nothing he could do, and no penalty call on that. Yeah, well, the shot then came in from Reis inside the box after the cross was blocked by Jack Hendry. Alashkert unable to take advantage, though the ball deflected over for the corner, which they don't make good use of again, and it goes out for a goal kick to Celtic. Alashkert have shown in flashes they can be an attacking threat, and the main Celtic have dealt with them with relative comfort, and they still lead 1-0 thanks to Odson Edouard's goal on the stroke of half time. And it's time for another water break with around 20 minutes or so left on the clock here, or sorry, 15 minutes left on the clock, Tony, and the players can get some Water on board. And 15 minutes left. Celtic know the job is almost done here. They would want to come here. They would want a positive result. They've got the away goal. And now is it just showing a bit of control and professionalism in the closing juncture of the game?
Yeah, Celtic will want to dominate possession for the remainder of the game, and I'm sure they will continue to attack and look for that second goal, but they're going to maintain themselves throughout the remainder of this game. Worth mentioning, and it's 25 to 10 local time here, and it's still 30 degrees, so really hot. But Celtic have had the better of the opportunities, but Alashkert desperate to try and grab a goal there, so Craig Gordon, he may have some work to do in the remainder of the half.
Scott Brown and his Celtic colleagues just taking on Water, as we spoke about, as we look back at that chance for Alashkert. I think the ball falling for Reis eventually, the Brazilian winger getting a shot away, but it's deflected harmlessly over the bar, and then of course Alashkert unable to profit from the corner. And it looks like it could be another Celtic change, Tony, as we enter this final 50 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think so. It looks like it's Lewis Morgan coming on now.
Yeah, Lewis Morgan making his competitive bow for Celtic. The man signed from St Mirren in January, loaned back to the Paisley side for the remainder of the campaign, and he helped them clinch the championship in emphatic style with some scintillating wing displays. And he's going to play the last portion of this match. A big moment for the new boy as he makes his competitive bow for Celtic, and he will replace Odsonne Edouard. So another change for Celtic. Could see James Forrest perhaps moving to a more central position, playing that false nine role. Whilst Morgan goes out to that right hand side. And Lewis Morgan, a player we spoke about briefly at half time, Tony, someone who's shone in pre-season for Celtic, looks to have hit the ground running since his move from St Mirren.
Yeah, he's looked really at home in the squad. Speaking to the manager in pre-season, he's mentioned how comfortable that Lewis Morgan has looked in training and just spending time with the players. He's really integrated very well with the squad, very confident and well liked by the players, and he wants to really make a mark early on in the season that he's deserving of a place in the starting 11 consistently.
Oh, it was good, strong defending there from Smirovic against Cesar Romero. And Celtic are back in possession through Scott Brown, just exchanging passes with Jack Hendry before Brown comes infield and then picks out Smirovic again. Smirovic approaches the halfway line before slipping a pass through to Kouassi. Kouassi has Scott Sinclair out wide. Sinclair has some space, faced up by his man. Sinclair goes on the outside, looks like he's sent tumbling to the ground there. The referee not impressed with that, and awards the goal kick to Alashkert. Scott Sinclair trying to reach the byline, get a cross in there. It goes to the ground, and Kanzarevich will restart proceedings. With around 12 minutes remaining here in the Republican Stadium. Celtic still holding that one goal advantage, courtesy of Odsonne Edouard. Kanzarevich just taking his time here to take this goal kick. Celtic won't be too displeased by that, and eventually, after all that trouble, he just launches that one straight out of play. So disappointing outcome there for the home goalkeeper. But Celtic will be satisfied enough with that as Tierney prepares to take this throw in on the halfway line. Tierney, a long throw in towards Scott Sinclair. It's headed out of play by the right back, Yedegarian. Tierney takes the throw to Kouassi. Kouassi does well. They're under pressure to find Christopher Aya before Lewis Morgan gets his first touch as a Celtic player. Morgan, purposeful and direct, driving forward, gets away from his man, then goes to the ground. Just lost his footing there, Lewis Morgan, which was a bit disappointing because he'd done well initially and it looked like he was getting into a good area on that right hand side.
Yeah, that run was full of intent there, full of confidence from Lewis Morgan. Get past a couple of the opposition players, but just seemed to catch the ball under him and went down.
Lewis Morgan is certainly not short of self-confidence or belief, and he's doing well there again. There, good closing down from Lewis Morgan. He's showing real purpose since he's entered the fray. He gets to the byline and he looks like he's won Celtic a corner kick. So excellent play from Lewis Morgan, looking right at home on his competitive and European debut for Celtic, forcing the corner kick.
good strength out there in the night, as well as his pace. He done well to force that tackle out the defender and win a corner for Celtic. Didn't quite have the numbers in the box that was wanted, so this will be a much preferred goal scoring opportunity for Celtic.
Celtic, plenty of men forward, as you mentioned, Tony. Callum McGregor with the corner kick as an in-swinger towards Simunovic. It's Jack Hendry at the far post. He gets the ball across. It falls for Scott Sinclair. Sinclair back to Hendry. Gets the ball back into the mix. It can fall for James Forrest. It can fall for Forrest, and it can find the back of the net. James Forrest doubles Celtic's lead. Celtic 2, Alashkert 0.
Brilliant from James Forrest. He anticipated that well and just jumped on it, cushioned it past the keeper with his right foot. It was a great finish and very intelligent play for him. I think he could tell that ball was going to fall eventually. He's just bided his time on the edge of the box and just ran in there and tucked it away, giving Celtic another away goal. Crucial.
Well, we spoke about how Alashkert had looked unconvincing at times from set pieces, and that was the case there. Corner came in from Callum McGregor. It was Jack Hendry coming in at the far post. Managed to knock the ball towards the near post. Scott Sinclair picking up the pieces, working it back to Hendry. It ricocheted into the path of James Forrest, and he made no mistake, lashing the ball home into the back of the net to double Celtic's lead and put them in real control of this tie.
Excellent to see James Forrest get off the mark so early in the season. He scored in Celtic's first pre-season game, and now he's scored in Celtic's first competitive game of the season. He was such a crucial player last season, weighing in with a lot of goals, and I think he's going to be looking to build on that. 17 goals last season, more than doubled his previous best tally, and that's a really important goal for Celtic. Excellent to see James get his name on the score sheet.
Well, that goal came with around 9 minutes remaining here in the Republican Stadium in Yerevan, and that prompted a substitution, a second change from the hosts as they try to come forward here. And it's a free kick to Celtic. The offside flag, I think, was raised there, so it saw the captain leave the field, the Guardian, and he was replaced by number 7 Manashian. Alashkert really facing an uphill task now. It's been a real professional, mature performance from Celtic here in the heat of Armenia, and they have possession at the moment, now holding that 2-goal advantage. And it's Abu Kiwasi back to Scott Brown on the halfway line. Celtic now looking in real and complete charge of this UEFA Champions League first qualifying round tie, as Forrest picks up the ball. Forrest, the goal scorer of Celtic's second strike, and he's felled there on the edge of the area, but the referee not interested once more, and he allows Gregorian to come forward with the ball for the substitute. Manashian tries to do something there on the halfway line and spark some inspiration, but Celtic are across quickly, and it's Lewis Morgan this time in that inside right channel. An early strike and goal from Lewis Morgan, not short in confidence as we spoke about, but he just drags that one wide of the post. But Lewis Morgan certainly made an impact, Tony, and it was him that created that corner kick that led to Celtic's second goal. Yeah,
a real attacking intent since he's come on. He wants to make his mark. Just there, didn't seem to get the connection on the ball he wanted, so there wasn't the sort of power behind it to trouble the keeper. But he's made an impact in a short space of time. So when this game wraps up, he'll be pleased with what he's contributed, and I think the manager will be as well.
Well, that's what Brendan Rodgers wants. He wants his substitutes to make an impact. It's a squad game, of course, now in the modern era. Everyone in the squad will be required to make a contribution at some point in the campaign, and the substitutes for Celtic tonight have certainly done their part. Lewis Morgan creating the corner that led to Celtic's second goal from James Forrest. Also on Edouard putting the hoops in front on the stroke of half time. Alashkert trying to salvage something from this match as they come forward down the left hand side. Reis was involved there, and then he lashed out there, the Brazilian winger. That looked a frustrated challenge there, and I think it's Jack Hendry who's going to the ground, and lucky to get away with that, Tony. It looked like a late one, just a late kick to Jack Hendry. I think the referee has been quite generous at times with his decision making this evening. Jack Hendry took a sore one there, no wonder he's still on the ground. Reis, the Brazilian winger, of course, on a yellow card from the first half for a reckless challenge on Jack Hendry, a high boot to the face, and perhaps fortunate to escape further punishment there as Alashkert make another change. And it's the player in question that leaves the field, and maybe the manager of Alashkert could see that Reis was seeing red. Unfortunate not to see the red card brandished in his face in making that change, Tony.
That kind of challenge was deserving of a sending off really late, and you could see his intent. All he wanted to do there was kick Jack Hendry. He's just sort of lashed out at him with his left foot once the ball had left, and how the referee hasn't done more there is beyond me.
Well, Simonian that has replaced Reis. Scott Brown complains to the referee about that late tackle on, or late kick, should I be more accurate, on Jack Hendry. Jack Hendry has looked commanding and assured tonight. Was caught in possession early in the second half, but aside from that, he's looked comfortable for the hoops in this the hot conditions here in Armenia. Scott Sinclair tries to get in behind the Alashkert backline from that long ball forward. Lewis Morgan takes over, running at the heart of the Alashkert defence. He goes to the ground, and it's Celtic to pick up the pieces again. It's been a common theme throughout tonight. An excellent work rate and energy from Celtic, despite the hot conditions and how early this match is taking place in pre-season. Brown inside to Jack Hendry, who has thankfully recovered from that challenge from Reis. Kawase spinning in the halfway line, just keeping possession. Celtic have done the hard work tonight. They've got that 2-goal lead. Got 4 minutes left in the clock, and they'll just want to see this game out and then take this back to Glasgow. An extra goal though would be a bonus, particularly for those Celtic supporters that have travelled out to Armenia to back the boys tonight. As Forrest picks up the ball around 35 yards from goal. This time the winger is crowded out, and there's an attack that quickly fizzles out though from Alashkert, as Gregorian just launched a ball down the middle of the pitch. There were no Alashkert players there. It was a tired pass, and it looks like some of the belief has gone out of the Alashkert players, particularly since Celtic have established that 2-goal lead. Celtic continue to hold on to position. This time they give it away though, but Simunovic is over quickly to avoid that being a dangerous situation, and Lewis Morgan does very well on the right hand side, gets away from his man. Morgan approaches the edge of the box, finds Forrest. Forrest has options to the left, and Forrest goes himself though, takes the shot on, just drags that one wide of the post. It was positive, purposeful play again from Lewis Morgan on the right that set up the chance for James Forrest, unable to conjure up his second goal of the game, however, the winger. But Lewis Morgan providing another positive impact for Celtic, and he'll certainly be one of the positives from this match again, Tony. He's, every game he's played so far for the Hoops, whether it was his first match against Vorwärts Steyr in Austria or his first goal for the Hoops against Shamrock Rovers at the weekend, he just looks to be getting better and better with every appearance.
Yeah, it's been a huge step up for Lewis Morgan, the 21-year-old, to come into a club like Celtic and a squad like this after what it's achieved. But he's not been fazed by it. He looks really confident, and he's contributing. He's made a real impact in the squad. That was really impressive from him there. A wonderful first touch, and then he's just flicked it over the opposition and darted down the right wing there. Well,
Lewis Morgan has that ability to go either side, adept with either foot, and he made his Scotland bow in the summer there, included in Alex McLeish's squad that went to Peru and Mexico, and he featured in both matches, and that was another boost to his belief before he joined up with Brendan Rodgers' side for pre-season, and he just looks to have taken further confidence from that, and his belief is soaring at the moment. And Christopher Ayer is also a man in full confidence, and he strides forward deep into Alashkert territory. It's Forrest picking up the ball at the edge of the box. Forrest cutting inside. Can he get a shot away onto his left foot? He finds McGregor. McGregor takes aim. McGregor finds the back of the net, and it's a wonderful third goal for Celtic. It's Callum McGregor who's got it. Excellent play from James Forrest, taking his time, supplying Callum McGregor, and that was a composed, trademark finish from McGregor just inside the far post. Alashkert 0, Celtic 3.
That was excellent play from James Forrest there, just running across the face of goal, dragging a lot of the opposition defenders away, then slips the ball to McGregor, who controls, looks up, and then strikes it with his left foot across the face of goal into the bottom corner. Wonderful link-up play from the pair of the academy boys to give Celtic another European goal.
Well, that goal coming in the last minute of normal time here in the Republican Stadium, and it was a fine goal indeed from Callum McGregor, and Celtic really in complete control of this UEFA Champions League first qualifying round tie. As the fourth official shows, there'll be 4 minutes added time here in Armenia. Celtic will just now want to see this one out, but it's been an excellent performance from Brendan Rodgers' side this evening in difficult testing conditions. They've played with maturity, professionalism and real ruthlessness when they have been presented with chances, with the goals coming most latterly by Callum McGregor. James Forrest also on target in the second half, with Odsonne Edouard opening the scoring for the boys on the stroke of half time. And Alashkert have had flashes going forward, but in the main Celtic have looked in control, Tony, and really since that second goal you could see the belief has really seeped out of these Alashkert players.
Yeah, looking at the play just now, you would think it was Alashkert that aren't used to playing in these sort of hot conditions. Celtic really managed the game very well. They've been very patient and composed in possession, and the opposition's belief looks to have just sort of dwindled now. But Celtic have looked fantastic in this game, and I think a lot of that is down to how fit the players came back from pre-season, as the manager mentioned to us when we were talking to him for the Celtic View. He said this was the fittest that the players had come back into pre-season, and that's played an important part in a difficult game like tonight.
Jozo Smijonovic sent tumbling there, and Tony, yeah, I think you're very accurate with your sentiments there. Celtic have looked very fit, great energy levels tonight, and they couldn't have asked for a tougher really away test at this early stage of the competition. A long journey out here, around a 5.5, 6 hour flight to Armenia, and then playing in this intense heat. But they have coped admirably, and much to the delight of the band of travelling Celtic supporters, around 150 to 200 fans in the corner of the stadium. They've certainly enjoyed this away trip, watching the Hoops record what looks like to be a comfortable 3-goal victory in the Republican Stadium, which has them well on course for reaching the second qualifying round, and hopefully the first step on their way back to the UEFA Champions League group stages for the third year in a row. That's where Celtic deserve to be, it's where Celtic belong, and it's where everyone at Celtic wants the club to be, because Celtic supporters deserve those nights, the players deserve those nights, and they mean so much to the Celtic family. Well, they've certainly made the perfect start, the Hoops, tonight, as they come forward again in the closing minutes of stoppage time. And the right back for Alashkert, Yediguaryan, can just puts that one out of play. Celtic just lower the tempo, string a few passes together. They know the hard work has been achieved. They have the 3 goals, the 3 away goals, as Scott Sinclair continues to work hard, putting Voskanian under pressure there on the byline, and it's won Celtic a late corner kick. It'll be interesting to see how many Celtic players go forward for this one. As the clock ticks down here, now have around 30 seconds left of the 4 minutes that were added on. It's Callum McGregor goes across to take this one in no hurry, and understandably so, which I think is just going to take this one short to Kieran Tierney, and he does so. Tierney just running down the clock. As I said, Celtic have done the hard work as McGregor tries to hold the play up. And that's the last act of the match as the referee blows the final whistle. Full time here in Yerevan, Armenia. It's Alashkert 0, Celtic 3. A professional, composed and really dominant performance from Celtic that has given them a commanding lead going into the second leg of this UEFA Champions League first qualifying round. The goals coming from Odsonne Edouard on the stroke of half time.